the first thing we do as an ISV is let's actually create an offer inside Azure Marketplace. To do so, I am going to partner.microsoft.com, navigate to the dashboard once I'm logged in with my ISV identity, and here we are going to create an Azure application. So let's do so. An Azure application. This will be our managed metered billing demo video. And I'm using the same offer alias here just for simplicity. So this will become a managed application. So in here we have the report. Let's go through all the different properties. So inside the properties, I have to pick one category. So for the sake of the argument, I'm just saying like this is data preparation, whatever. I check it's an Azure application. The terms and conditions would be here. Save the draft and go to the offer listing. The offer listing here here we put a short description. Here we put a longer description. Managed app, metered billing demo. These are our things. The privacy policy is HTTPS Geuer-Pollmann.de/privacy. The support information Christian.Geuer-Pollmann@web.de. Let's slap in some, it has to be, I think it has to be HTTPS links. .de/support. Same thing here. Engineering contact is the same. Please don't spam me on my email address here. CSP we don't have. So after filling out the support contact and the engineering contact, we need to supply marketplace media, so logos with a very particular resolution. So let's just generate these ones here. So I'm going to go to this address here. So the first logo has to be 216 by 216. So let's say metered billing rocks. So that would be our first logo. I save this image locally on my desktop. 216. And the other logo which we need is 1280/720. So 1280/720. And we also save that image on our desktop. Big. And after doing so, we can upload these pictures. So let's go back to the offer listing and pick our small logo. What's blocking this here? Okay, so this is now coming. Let's add the large logo, which is that one here. So it's now creating the different renditions and resolutions. And we need to, I'm always forgetting this, metered billing rocks is our image caption. And we can save the draft here. Cool, so that's gone. So for the preview audience, I now want to add a subscription of mine in which I'm testing this. So I will be having two different subscriptions. One of these subscriptions is effectively the subscription in which I'm simulating to be a customer. This is this is living in my work Entra tenant. So I have two different tenants. So this subscription here is my customer subscription. So, and this is CH Geuer work. So I add this one to the preview audience. And in the technical configuration, I now supply the identity of who will be emitting events to the metered billing API. So for that one, I now need to go into my customer, into my ISV publisher tenant and create a service principal, an application registration over here. So let's do so. Let's navigate to Entra ID. Into the app registrations. And in here we are creating a new app registration, which we are calling metered billing submission video demo. And this is a single tenant application. We register this one. And this gives us the application ID. So we need to use that application ID. And just for the sake of the argument, let's also remember this one. So the metered, let's call it a bit here, billing submission app ID is that one here. So inside the technical configuration, this is the application ID, and the Entra tenant ID we need as well. So let's get back to our tenant overview here, and I'm picking the GUID for my tenant, this one here, slapping this in as well. So now this is the identity of the entity which will be emitting events to the marketplace metered service API. Before we go into the plan overview, before we create a plan, let's actually finish the last top level things. So resell through CSP. I'm setting to no partners. Save the draft here. And now we can create the plan which contains all our actual billing information. So let's create a new plan. So the plan ID is the metered billing demo video plan. And I'm also here picking the same thing for both the plan ID and the plan name. Let's create this. inside. So now we come to the point where an Azure application can either be a solution template or a managed application. So it is supposed to be a managed application. Let's save this one. The plan should be listed in the country where, the plan summary. Here we'd have a neat plan summary. And here we'd have a neat plan description. Save the draft. The availability is the regions and countries where we make that available. So let's edit the markets, and for the sake of the argument, filter it down to Germany, where I am based. Because we are using this to try our own managed application, we are purchasing our application, but we don't want to create costs. I'm setting this to a price of $0 per month, and I save the draft. But then there is an important thing missing. We want to have custom meter dimensions in here. So let's go into creating custom meter dimensions. And in here, we now can come up with our own pricing scheme. So the ID would be, one ID, for example, could be demo, video. Can I use dashes? I'm always forgetting. Demo, video, dimension 1. See, this would be, let's just figure out what the unit of measure would be per widget. The price would be 0. And we can say this is a dimension, let's call this with included quantity. So let's say this is a dimension with included quantities, and on a monthly basis there are 10 of these quantities included in our monthly price. Let's add a second dimension, and the display name, a dimension with some included quantity. The next one is without pure pay as you go, a pay as you go dimension per pay as you go widget. The price here would be 0 as well. And just for the sake of the argument, let's create a third dimension, which is unlimited. So an per unlimited widget, an unlimited dimension, and we call this one here demo video dimension unlimited. Let's see if we can save that draft and if it allows us to keep the dashes in here. But that seems to be okay. Invalid custom meter name. Meter name included quantity. Okay, so widgets, is the name quantity the problem? Always included widgets. Pay as you go dimension and an unlimited dimension. Let's try again. Save the draft and see if anything shows up. Can I now save the draft? It's still complaining. Why is it complaining? Dimension with included widgets. there should be no quantity showing up anymore. Save the draft. What's going on? Let me just pause the video for a second. Oh, actually, I believe I have to say how much is included. So it certainly is this 0. Let's try it again. If this makes the error message go away. Okay, so I misinterpreted it. It was actually not about using the term quantity in here, but I had to explicitly set this to 0. So that's great. So the last thing we need to look at is our technical configuration. And for this one, so the first version of our application will be 001. Now let's not forget about, let's go back. One thing I forgot is I need to remember how I called these dimensions in Marketplace. This is super important, the dimension names. So we have this one here. We have this one here. And we have this one here. And this one has 10 included. Okay. That's great. And once I have this, I can go to this technical configuration part and grab the partner center ID. So this one is important for us as well. Partner center ID. We need this one. There is a couple of information which we do not yet have. So we do not have an endpoint for notifications. We do not yet, let's 001. We do not yet have an endpoint for notification. HTTPS. This is missing.com. So we have to supply this one here. We enable management access for the publisher. And we need to specify who is authorized to manage the customer environment. We specify that the customer has no access, so we restrict access using deny assignments, and we don't have particular customer actions we want the customer to do. So the customer, the Entra tenant, is again our publisher tenant. So let's put that information in here. And let's go back and specify who is authorized to manage customer landscapes, to manage customer environments. To achieve this, we create a security group here. So we go in here into groups and create a new group, which we will be calling group name metered billing demo at customer administrators at employees who can manage customer environments. The owner should be myself. Oops. Like these ones here. And the members I basically put a group of mine in here which contains all my various identities. So I now create the group. Let's check, where is that group? Do I need to refresh? So here we have our metered billing demo video custom admins, and the object ID is this one. And this is what I'm slapping in here. So all the people inside the security group will be able to have owner access on manage resources. Now I'm saving this draft, but there are still a couple of things missing. So we are missing the zip file containing our marketplace deployments ARM template, and we're missing the notification endpoint of the publisher's ISV backend. So let's create these things in the next video.